Hikaru, welcome to the second leg of the Grand Slam of freestyle. 12 players, more excitement it feels somehow here, and also a few withdrawals at the last moment. What are your feelings?
Yeah, so I mean, I think for myself, I'm pretty excited to play in this event. I've been on a pretty good streak for the last week and a half or two. I've done very well in the American Cup, online tournaments and everything else. So it's pretty good. Also, I think the last event, I lost this match at Sindarov, but I did also win matches against Gukesh and Noterbeck to finish off.
Yes.
So I feel pretty optimistic about my chances. And it's always great to be here in Paris, which is a place that I'm very familiar with. So really looking forward to the event.
What surprised you more, Firuza withdrawing or Hans withdrawing?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know the specifics of either case, obviously. It's fairly surprising to see the withdrawals. You know, one thing that I've spoken about, and some of this has been taken out of context certainly, is that my view as it relates, and maybe you'll ask me this question later as well, is that when I look at classical chess, my perception is that this tour is very exciting because there's a lot of money which you can win versus regular tournaments. I remember when I was on my own stream with, I think, Jan Ludwig Hammer recently, and he was asking me, did I think that Vincent won more in this first freestyle event than he's ever won in his career in prize money? I think if you look at prize money, almost certainly it's true that it's his biggest payday by far. And so to me, it's a little bit surprising as it relates to Ali Reza that he would drop out, because I think he's a very strong contender to win these events potentially. And I would be very surprised if he didn't play at least 2 out of the next 3, if not all 3. So it's really shocking to me. Again, I don't know exactly what happened, but it wasn't expected, certainly. As far as Hans goes, I would say that I'm probably more surprised by that, just because you know, he himself will state that he doesn't have opportunities to play tournaments, doesn't get invites, and then he had an invitation here and he chose not to participate. So that's more shocking in my opinion, especially considering the narrative that he's formed over the last couple of years around certain people like myself, and how apparently we're stopping him from playing. So it's very shocking to see that. I assume Hans will probably say something, but to me that's the biggest surprise by a big margin.
Right, and we also have 4 Indian players playing here. Last time we had only Gukesh. Now there's Prag, Arjun and Vidit, who made it at the last moment.
Yeah.
Also kind of a honeymoon for him, just got married. How's that for you?
Yeah, I think it's kind of fitting in a way. It's very clear that when we look at classical chess, or I would just say regular chess in general, that the Indians are coming. I mean, there are others like Aravind also, who's been rising very, very quickly. So it really makes sense that there are quite a few Indians here. I think also for the fans, even if say one player doesn't do well, someone's going to do well. Someone's going to make it to at least the semifinals. I mean, at least the odds would say that amongst the Indians. So I think they'll have a lot of people to cheer for, and I think it's very good that you have 4 here who are competing, and again, just really excited to play against them.
Fantastic. Hikaru, we this time did a few interesting stuff. We want to go into a nostalgia mode.
Okay.
And we prepared a bit together, few pictures, and then a few of your really good games against some opponents here.
Okay.
So I have a few pictures. You can give your thoughts on that, what memories it evokes in you.
Okay. Okay, great.
So
Let's go.
The first picture is
this picture. Yeah. So, yeah, this picture, of course, this would have been Game 6. I'm pretty sure, of the Deep Blue versus Kasparov match. I actually don't remember what the venue was for that, but that was the Knight takes E6 game.
Are you making the moves of the game on that small board?
I suspect that I am. I think I saw this on Twitter. I think someone posted this on Twitter. So, yeah, we were there watching it. It was very shocking to see that game, to see Gary lose as quickly as he did in that. It's just kind of a reminder, I think, of the world where when humans played against computers, we still thought we were better than them, and it was not long after this they started dominating completely. So it's kind of a reminder of a very different time, and then also just seeing this magnetic chess set. I mean, that's something that I think nowadays, nobody would use this ever. And back then it was very common to use stuff like this, or have a pocket magnetic chess set. So it is very nostalgic, and it's a reminder of a time when chess was a little bit different.
And is that your brother with you? Or?
Yes, that's my brother sitting next to me. I think we're also wearing our school chess shirts as well because we both went to school in White Plains at that time. So yeah, it's a nice picture, a nice memory from a long time ago.
Another one with your brother here, and in the background is, I think, your mom who's playing the violin. I think it's the
Yes.
New York Times who had come home. Is that correct?
This is from the New York Times. Yeah, there was a New York Times article. I think this was a picture that was run with the article. This is at my home where I grew up in White Plains, New York. It's actually kind of interesting that for some reason we have this book here. This is
Yes, 2545 Domination.
Yeah, it's a Domination by Kasparian. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that book's
Did you
there.
solve that book when you were young?
I don't think I solved all of them, but yeah, like I remember I would write down the solutions on paper. Again, something that's very foreign probably to anybody who plays chess today, but I went through a lot of those puzzles when I was younger. I don't know if I went through all of them, but I went through quite a few. So yeah, it's a picture. I mean, I was there not so long ago actually in White Plains, so this isn't as foreign of a memory or concept, but still, yeah, it's a nice picture.
And were you always
very nice.
competitive with your brother when you used to play?
So at that time, we were probably pretty competitive. So he was around master strength, and I think I had just broken master at the time. So we were still pretty close in level. I would say within probably a year after this picture was taken, I was just significantly better. But still, we did play quite a bit back then, and it was enjoyable.
You know, we have one IM in India who tells quite a few people that if you solve this book 2545, you'll become really good at understanding how pieces trap us, because it's all about trapping.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Do you think it helped you like become very good tactically, because that's
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think it definitely helps with seeing patterns. I would say, one thing that I think today that you have to be very careful with, and this applies, I mean, maybe this will annoy chess.com, but I'll say it anyway, is that, when you solve tactics or puzzles, I think that you need positions that can occur in games that are very practical, and I've found that a lot of puzzles, especially on chess.com, they're not going to happen in games, so, or they're too simplified. And I think that, one of the things is that as you get better, let's just say around master level, you will start getting into a lot of these end games where these sort of tricks and these motifs do exist, so I think it's a very important book to study. And it's also, I think, unlike, say, Dvoretsky, for example, it's not hard to sort of work through it. Dvoretsky, I think, is way too advanced for most people. But I think even if you're maybe expert level 2000 or around there, you probably could even do most of these studies. It's not that difficult. So, and also, like, even to use another example, because this is so foreign, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but even, I know the book, of course, predates this, but I remember it was maybe around like 1996 or 97. You had one of these, like, what do you call it? One of these dongles that you plug in, which had endgame studies, and it was actually done by Alexander Kostenyuk's father. I don't know the name of it, but I use that quite a bit too. It's a very, very simplified sort of thing on computer, but that also was very complementary to solving these puzzles in the book. So that's something you should check if you have a chance, or ask
wonderful.
Alexander one day.
Thank you. Yeah, we will do that. Here's the next picture. I think a very beautiful picture. At the same time, I think an important moment in your chess career.
Yeah, so, I mean, first of all, the picture obviously was taken on the USS Intrepid in New York City at the Chessathon. One thing that I've thought about, and I think it's a great shame it doesn't happen, are events like the Chessathon, which, again, not sure, for you guys or the people who are going to watch this are aware of, but the USS Intrepid is a retired warship sitting in the dockyards in New York City. And on the top deck, it was a battleship, so it's very, very big. They had a bunch of simul's, so it's something like I'll just take a guess, there were maybe 30 players, like masters, international masters, grand masters, doing simul's against like 20 or 30 players at the same time throughout the course of a weekend. And it was a very, very special event. And I think I drew a master there, and so I'm holding a little prize there. I don't remember if it was a clock or what it was. But something like that would be very good if that sort of event is brought back. The U.S. Chess Federation stopped that many, many years ago, but I think that was a great concept. And considering how hot chess is these days, it's something that perhaps could be resurrected. So that's just as far as that goes. But then breaking master was, of course, a very important moment for me. I think that it was the start of trying to achieve greater things. It was sort of setting a goal and achieving it. I think about a year before I became master, my stepfather, who's in this picture as well, Sunil, he basically asked me, if there was something, some goal or some target I had in mind. And at the time, at least, the Guinness Book of World Records, they did have the record for youngest master, and so that was my goal, and I broke that record. And so this was sort of the first time setting a goal, achieving it, and knowing that I had potential to do greater things.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the last one we have here is a picture. It's something that I haven't seen before. I saw this. It's such a interesting one. You are completely engrossed in the game. There's Tigran Petrosian next to you. Magnus is standing back.
Yeah. This.
Do you remember it?
This is Gibraltar. I'm trying to remember which year this was exactly. This is probably the year that I beat Tigran in that Vienna game. So that would have that means that I won the event. So I'm gonna guess at this. I think this is 2008, but I mean I could be wrong on the year. But seeing the Tigran's there, actually, this would have been that year when I started off very poorly. I had 3 points out of 5, and then I won the last 5 games. I beat Tigran, I beat Efemenko in the final game. I don't remember the other victories, but I won the last 5 games, and then I won a tiebreaker against Bu Jiangji from China. So this also like just brings back great memories of the tournament, but even beyond the tournament, I think it's a reminder again of a different time back when all of us were younger and playing a lot of blitz. It was very, very commonplace, and so it's very nostalgic, and yeah, it's a good memory.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we have this very nice game position of yours. Do you recollect it?
So I mean, I'm almost certain. I mean, there's only one player I could have caught this position against, frankly. Or there are 2 players, but I know it's not one of them. The first thought that I had was that it might be a game against Ruslan, but it's not. Because there was a game I played against Ruslan Ponomarev in 2009 in San Sebastian where he played an H6 G5. It was a different kind of Najdorf, but similar structure. However, it's not that game. This would have been the game that I played against Maxime. This would have been the London Chess Classic in, let me try to remember the year. The year is the question. So 18 is the year that I won, which was not standard. So I'm gonna guess this was 19, but it's not. It's 19 or 17. I'm gonna guess it's 19.
It's actually
16. Yeah.
16.
It's 16. Okay, so the years blend together. Okay, fair
And
enough.
Do you remember the move that you played in this position?
The move that I
Spectacular
played in
move.
this position, yes. Okay, so I remember like he played something to take me out of theory around this moment, maybe a couple moves earlier. So the move that I played in this position, let's see, what would I have played here? The move that I played in this position.
And black just played h5.
Yeah, it's Queen H3, H5. If I were to guess, the move that I played here, like without doing some deep calculations, is probably just E5. That's my guess. E5 or Knight F5, one of the 2.
Yes, you played knight.
Knight
I played
F5.
Knight F5. Okay.
Brilliant. It was an amazing game, like so many sacrifices. Very nice. And so Knight F5 here. What about this one? Does this evoke some memories?
Okay, this is a strange one because this could either be
You are black,
real,
by the way.
Oh, I'm black in this
Yes.
game.
Knight G3 was just played.
Okay, so I mean, obviously I played Knight takes E3, but who is this against is the question. So I have the black pieces, and I've played this. Was this like a really important game or not?
A small hint is one of the we have
Player.
chosen from players here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a classical game
This was a classical game
in
of chess?
Vaikanze.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So this would have been 2013 against Richard Rapport.
2014 against
2014.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And it was like 93. He didn't take it. He went
Right.
Queen E2. You took on
Yeah.
C2. It was like
Yeah. I
insane.
remember it was a very messy game. I think I was always supposed to be better, but it was very, very messy throughout. Yeah. Since you mention it now, yeah.
Yeah, your B4 pawn
Yep.
became like the passer, and it was an incredible game. And the last one here,
Oh, this is
Queen C3. So this
Black played Rook A8 here.
Yeah, of course. This is my game. This is my game against Magnus in 2020. I think this. I'm trying to remember if this was the actual grand final, the seven day match or not. I think this was the grand final. It was
Yes,
like
it
August,
was the
September
finals.
2020.
Yes.
But I think this game was very important because when I won this game, I think it guaranteed. Was this the last game we played? Maybe I'm trying to remember because it went to.
They were like these sets, right?
Yeah, but I remember it was very important because I think this either won me a match or I was behind and it tied the match, tied that specific set of games. So yeah, it was against Magnus, but I think beyond just being against Magnus, what's really important about this is that this was, for me at least, this was easily the greatest match that I've ever played. I don't think anything else that I played before or since compares, just because it was 7 days and it was so back and forth. And it was also during the pandemic as well, so this brings back some really, really great memories. That was a really, really fun match, and I really enjoyed it.
And the move you played after Rook A8.
After Rook A8, the move that I played, right? Sorry.
You,
so
you
Rook A8.
actually
it was like a combination of 2-3 moves that
Yeah.
guaranteed.
So Yeah, so rook a8. Okay, let's see. After rook a8, what are the options? It's not queen e5 because there's queen g1. It's not rook a2. Let's see, I'll go there. Yeah, so I'm going to guess that after rook a8, the move that I played was queen a1, queen b3, queen e5, knight e6, bishop d4. I think that was the game.
It was like very, like you're exactly right of this queen e5, bishop d4, but you started with rook b1, ab1.
Ah,
and
I
then
traded first.
you
Ah,
did so
okay.
that black does not have this queen g1
Ah,
check,
okay.
anymore.
Because
Yeah.
queen a1 also wins, I think. Ah, but queen a1 might allow bishop e4. Maybe that's the point. No, but bishop 4 takes rook a. Okay, it's all winning, but yeah.
But yeah, rook b1, ab1, and just queen
Yeah, and
e5
queen
was
e5,
so
knight
knight
e6,
e6,
yeah.
bishop d4
Yeah.
was very, very clean. Amazing, Hikaru. Your games were tremendous. Just looking through them, we have like the next set is just rapid fire questions. You have
Okay,
to
sure.
not think much.
Sure.
Just reply quickly.
Sure.
So, if you had to choose an opponent for a chess boxing event from the players here, who would you choose?
So one question: is this for like serious? Is it like where I want to win, or it's just who would be most interesting to box against?
For you, who's
Yeah,
the most fun?
Yeah.
Most fun to box? I would say there's probably someone who has aggression, so I would say probably Nepo.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
And the second question is, if at this point you had to choose an alternate career, what would you choose and why?
Okay, so that's an interesting question, to which there already kind of are multiple answers. I would say that at this point, if I had to pick and choose with where I'm at and how successful I've been, almost certainly I would do something, not that I'm not already doing it, but something specifically in real estate or finance, but probably real estate simply because I would say that it's a little bit less stressful in my opinion. It's a little bit, now, of course, it's a lot of work perhaps to maintain properties, do things along these lines, but I think there's a lot less stress involved in dealing with like HOA, homeowners associations, and these sorts of things than there are in finance, where it's much more up and down, very similar to say chess or poker. So I would say real estate.
Real estate. Wow. And the third question is,
Who do you think
will win the Women's World Championship, which is going on right now?
Yeah. So I mean, of course, right now it's a little bit tilted. Did they play this morning or not?
Their third game is today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but it's not over yet.
Not yet, I guess.
Okay.
I haven't checked.
So 1.5 half
For
Tan
Tan
Zhong,
Zhong.
yeah. I mean, obviously, so Tan's the favorite at the moment. You know, I think just based on history and just the experience, I would probably go with Zhu Wenjun. But again, I think it's going to be a tough match, and it's probably going to come down to who has better preparation, better nerves. I will say that as I looked at that second game, which was a rook and pawn ending, I was a little bit surprised by how easily Zhu Wenjun cracked in that game, in what I thought should not have been too difficult to draw, which I think maybe is a bad sign. But I still think she's probably a very slight favorite just because of the experience she has.
Got it.
Which phone app do I use the most? That's actually very easy because I don't use many apps on my phone. That would be actually, is that easy? It's probably not. It's probably between X/Twitter or Yahoo Finance. Both of them I use pretty frequently. So those two by a big margin, which is probably surprising for most people to hear.
Yeah.
Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, Yahoo
was like-
Finance is.
I mean, I could use some finance app, but that just happens to be the one that I use.
And the fifth is Freestyle Grand Slam is becoming bigger, like here.
What is one thing that you like most?
Yeah. And what is the one thing you would like to change?
So obviously the thing that I like the most is the fact that you can show up and play. I think, it's very tricky to know what the balance is in terms of preparation between, say, rapid chess, blitz chess, and classical chess. So it's always hard to know. I mean, obviously people prioritize classical and you spend much more time preparing for it. But I think not having to prepare is very nice. I think that maybe the kids would disagree with this because I think they're so young and so used to preparing that they haven't like hit the point where they want to take it a little bit easier. But definitely for the older players, I think it's a reminder of a time. And maybe actually, to be fair, this doesn't apply to the kids because the kids who are growing up now, they have used computer programs for most of their lives. They didn't really live in a period where they studied on their own. And like just speaking for myself, I remember like it was like 1995, 96. You know, my stepfather, he had a very basic PC with one of these really early versions of ChessBase. I think it's probably like ChessBase 4 or something. And I mean, literally, you put your games in, you make a few basic notes on what you and your opponent discuss, and that's it. That's all you do. That's all you do with the program. I mean, there's nothing else you do. So I think for me, one of the reasons I really like that is just it's a reminder of my early days playing chess when it was very basic preparation, and I really do love that. And then as far as one thing that I would like to change, I think if there's one thing I would like to change, it's probably the fact that it's one-off games. You don't play the same position with white and black. Actually, no, you don't do that even in the regular matches. I think that it's the fact that the players don't play with both colors. There can be situations where you make one wrong move. I think that when I look very specifically last year, the Venn and Weisenhaus, Fabiano first game was pretty normal. Second game, I think he made a mistake on move 1 or 2 against Magnus, and I mean he was just worse. Magnus played a great game, and to me it feels kind of unfair in a sense. So that would be the one thing that I really would like to see change, so that the players play one game with white, one game with black from the same position.
And also to like add a small question to that, like when in like some positions like white has a much bigger advantage, or some positions are much easier to play with one color. So do you think that like playing with both sides, like white and black, would neutralize that?
So, I mean, I think there are caveats. I think the most important thing is that players don't have a chance to analyze after the game. So if they do, then there's nothing you can really do about it, and you have the same problem. But I think if you have the first game, players get 5-10 break, come back, play the second game, then you're in a situation where the players are on an even footing. And I don't think that you truly can learn everything about the position from one game. I think probably at the start of the game, there are a few positions, I think, where you do have to play a mirror to not be much worse. But in a lot of positions, like even this Freestyle Friday event I played yesterday, there was one game where...
Which you won.
Yeah, which I won. But there was a game where my opponent played F4, and E4, and I thought I had to play F4, F5, not let him go E4, get a lot of space in the center. And then when I looked at the computer, it was saying after F4 I could have played like some A5, E4, C5, and like something very unusual, and it's like black is better. So from that standpoint, I think there always are possibilities to imbalance it, and you don't have to always try and play the mirrors sort of position, in which case the game can become very exciting in general. So I don't think there are any issues with that. But that is the big issue I have, I would say, with these freestyle events.
And the last question of this segment and last question of the interview, how would you like to be remembered as?
Yeah, so I think what I would like to be remembered as is first and foremost someone who moved chess forward. I think between the number of people who came into chess during the pandemic, but then also the whole industry in a sense that was built off the back of what happened in 2020 with the pandemic and the whole chess boom. It's just the contributions I made to creating basically a new, I mean, there's a whole new set of jobs. There's a chess economy that did not exist. Frankly, I don't think it would exist had I not made the contributions I made in 2020. So I'm very proud of that, and I think you know, it's like if you look at American football or European football, usually there are these branches or these trees of like coaches and the people who sort of come up through the ranks and end up like, you know, succeeding as well alongside it. Like in American football, you have this coach Bill Belichick, you have all these coaches, or Bill Parcells. I mean, these are names that Indian fans aren't going to know necessarily, but you have a lot of these assistants who ended up becoming coaches, having success elsewhere. And I would say that for me, when I look at that, I look at what I did in 2020. I think all the people who succeeded, who started out and doing a lot of collaborations with me, who ended up having their own careers, like Levy, for example, or Botez, and you know everything that's happened since then. I think just the contributions I made to an industry that would not exist had it not been for me would be very special.
Thanks a lot.
Tremendous.
Sure.
Hikaru, thank you for giving such thoughtful answers to all these questions, and we wish you good luck for this event.
Yeah.
Thank you.